Hi, everybody. I know you all have really busy lives, so instead of hosting an in-person coffee talk this year, I thought we'd mix it up and have a virtual coffee talk. So grab your cup of coffee, and I'll share with you a little bit about the amazing programs that we have for our kindergarten through 12th grade. One of the things I hear from nursery school parents every year is that they really want their kids to stay in touch with their friends from nursery school. You know, everybody goes to different schools. Some are at Schechter and Carmel. Some go to public schools and Westchester Day School. Really, people are all over the map. So what we found is that our youth community really has been the place where our kids can stay connected to one another. What's also great about our youth community is you can be a member of the youth community whether or not you are a member of the Bethel synagogue at large. So we do have a rate for the youth community that's for non-Bethel members too, and it's really affordable. Basically, our youth group is called Ruach for kindergarten through second grade. We happen to be one of the only synagogues in Westchester that has youth groups for kids kindergarten all the way up through 12th grade. So our kindergarten through second grade group, like I said, is called Ruach, and they meet once a month for purely social programming. So they'll do anything from cooking to crafts, sports, games. They've done a Frozen event where they built marshmallow snowmen and did a scavenger hunt around the building to find Olaf. So really, they're very creative. Magic shows and animal shows, and it's really fun. They are drop-off events typically once your child enters kindergarten. So they're either $5 or $10 depending on the event. Drop off 11 o'clock. Your kid will enjoy a wonderful event, have some pizza. 12:15 pick up. And it's really a great time. It's focused, again, on the social component. So they have a lot of fun, and they get to meet kids who go to all different schools. I do have this fabulous brochure, so I'm thrilled and happy to share that with you if you want to pop by my office, and I will hand it over to you. Just so you kind of get a feel for what's coming up after Ruach, our third through fifth grade group is called Chaverim. They also meet often twice a month, and same kinds of programming, just up a little bit for a little older age bracket. 6th through 8th grade is part of Kadima, which is both Kadima and 9th through 12th grade, our USY group. Those are regional things. So they'll have events not only at Bethel Synagogue, but also things within our division for Westchester Rockland and regionally through the New York area. So it's a great way for our teens to get to know kids from all over the New York area. It's really exciting and gain leadership roles. So we also host something called our Rosh Chosh. It's a girls' thing program for adolescent girls. We are part of the Westchester Jewish Basketball League. We have a Jewish Cub Scout group. So really, the youth community is a place where there's always something happening, and I'd love to share more about that with you if you want to chat more. Again, that is for day school and public school kids. So it's an even playing field. It's really about the social component. And it's a lot of fun. So if you're planning to send your child to day school, you can stop the video now. But if you are planning to send your child to public school, keep playing the video because I want to share with you a little bit about our religious school program. Again, if you want to pop by my office, I have all of this in an easy peasy brochure. It's also available for download on the Bethel website. So just in the interest of transparency, our religious school has undergone quite a bit of change in the past few years. So whereas the religious school you remember in your lives might be workbooks open on the desk, teacher at the front of the room, chalk in hand, 2 hours, sit still, listen to the teacher, we really have put that by the wayside. And we're functioning under a new mission statement that really relies on 3 main principles. The first of those main principles is meaningful content. So if at the end of the day your child can do a perfect summary of the Torah portion, that's all fine and good. But really, what matters to us is that they can tell us what that Torah portion has to do with their lives. So everything that we are teaching is really drawn back in to where our children are in that moment, in their lives, and what does Judaism have to do with them at that moment. The second main component is creative teaching methods. So gone are the days of students, workbooks open, listen to the teacher, sit in your desk for 2 hours. If you were to visit one of our religious school classes, you could find our children doing puppetry and art and music and movement and games and using our technology lab and our smartboard, working together, working individually. And we really have gone to a point where we can't be camp, but we sort of take a page out of the camp playbook so that we make our learning something really experiential and interactive. And I'll tell you that and I'm really not just saying this, our kids really enjoy being here. They want to come. They get sad when they have to miss out because the projects are so fun and they've built these fabulous relationships with their teachers, which brings me to the part 3 of our important pieces of our religious school. And that is our community and relationship building. Really, I don't know about you, but I don't remember every single thing that I learned in elementary school. But what I do remember, in middle school and high school even college, don't tell my professors. But what I'll tell you is that I do remember my friends and my teachers and how I felt when I was there, those positive kinds of feelings. So we are really intentional about helping our learners to connect with one another and with their teachers and really see themselves as part of concentric circles of community. So they have their class community, they have their religious school, they have Bethel, they have the Jewish people at large, and there's lots of circles within there too. But we want them to understand that they are an important piece of the Jewish population, not just in their class where they have responsibilities to one another, but that when they say Hamotzi over their challah on Shabbat, or on Sunday mornings when they're doing Shabbat in our classes, there are Jews around the world saying that exact same blessing. And that's something really powerful and special for our children. So we help them connect to one another, feel valued, feel valuable, and feel part of something a lot bigger. So that's sort of our educational philosophy. We typically have 1 class per grade, depending on how many children are in our classes. We try to hold them not much bigger than 12 children per class. So last year, our kindergarten class actually ended up splitting into 2 classes because it was quite large. Our teachers come from all sorts of backgrounds. We have Israeli teachers. We have people who teach in Jewish day schools or in public schools during the day. We have camp counselor kind of folks, people who are other kinds of Jewish professionals. But we really hold our teachers to very high standards in terms of mission accomplishment and those 3 principles that I shared with you before, and also like how they connect with our children. Hebrew is a major component of our curriculum. Prayer Hebrew primarily, and ability to read. But in addition, we also focus on Jewish values, on Torah, holidays, Jewish life kind of things. And we are not just gearing up to our bar mitzvah program, but we have a very high retention rate, and quite a lot of our teens end up continuing on in our high school program, which is an elective-based, really creative kind of learning program also. We are very blessed that we have a learning specialist on our staff who works with our teachers, our children, and our parents to make sure that each child's needs are met. And she is here both Sundays and Thursdays, and she processes a lot of the paperwork that we get in advance. She does run sort of a resource room kind of model. We call it Makom, for children who need a break from the class or need a little more personal attention. And we also have an art specialist, music specialist, Hebrew specialist on staff. And like I mentioned, we have our technology room with our laptops and our smartboard. So we really have incredible resources, and we're always pulling in new things. Like, I know most of your children really love Shmulik. He does do some movement activities in our religious school also. So it's definitely not your Bubby's kind of religious school. It's not the kind of religious school that many of us grew up in. It's much more creative, much more exciting, and really our children love to be here. So that's sort of your brief synopsis of what's going on in our youth community in the religious school. I will be making phone calls over the course of the next few weeks to follow up. But if in the meantime you have any questions, just feel free to give me a call, drop me an email, pop by my office. I'm right by the Forest classrooms. And I would be thrilled and happy to answer anything that may come up. So again, it's really been a joy to get to know your children this year in the hallways, in their classes, and I look forward to getting to know them even better as they enter kindergarten next year and the vast array of programming that we have available to them. Talk to you soon.